A quick one. I'm going to make some brave predictions. So I'm counting what I've seen on social media in relevance to what Floyd Shivambu's first stint in public with MK has shown me. I'm going to predict I do not see Floyd Shivambu working there for 5 years. If we get to the next national elections after 5 years, I would have failed in my prediction. Let's see the next local elections in 2026. Let's see how strong he is. All of this I'm judging by looking at how he performed in his first stint. What I know Floyd is going to struggle with at MK is approval for traveling and accommodation to do the national organizer's job, and for people who he doesn't know, strangers, to have trust in them, people he has not worked with for a long time. Machine politically incorrect. I'm just going to show you the videos that were trending because of Floyd, and people, some others are things down the memory lane. Please watch and enjoy. At the end, tell me, what do you predict the longevity of Floyd at MK will be? I'm brave to do it. Let's see how brave you are to do it. Thank you. Sharp, let's watch it and then let's talk after.
The appeal of Floyd Shivambu. The appellant has appealed to the NDCA against the conviction and sanction of the NDC handed down on the 10th November 2011, in which the appellant was found guilty on 2 counts of contravening Rule 2550 AA, BB, and CC of the ANC Constitution, in that he swore at a journalist, thereby bringing the organization into disrepute, and for issuing a statement which was in contravention of the ANC policy, and he issued a press statement on Botswana which was also in contravention of ANC policy. And it is clear to the NDCA that the appellant issued the statement and therefore was personally liable for the statement that he issued, that was issued in his capacity as the spokesperson of the ANC Youth League. The NDCA finds no reason or basis to vary the decision of the NDC, and the appellant's arguments are dismissed, and the NDCA confirms the finding of the NDC that the appellant was guilty as charged. Consequently, the appellant's appeal is dismissed. Coming now to the appeal by Julius Malema on his own with regard to charge 1. The appellant was charged with contravening Rule 25.5I of the ANC Constitution by behaving in such a way as to provoke serious division or breakdown of unity in the organization, in that he addressed a press conference on 31st July 2011 at the conclusion of the ANC Youth League NEC meeting, where he said, amongst other things, in the past, we know President Mbeki used the agenda very well. The African agenda is no longer a priority, and we think that there is a temptation by the colonizer and the imperialist to want to recolonize Africa in a different but sophisticated way, and President Mbeki stood directly opposed to that type of conduct. The NDC found that through these utterances, the appellant sought to portray the ANC government and its leadership under President Zuma in a negative light, which therefore had the potential to sow division and disunity in the ANC. After hearing the arguments of both parties at the NDCA hearing, the NDCA is satisfied with the reasoning of the NDC and finds no basis to vary the finding of the NDC. The appellant appeal is therefore dismissed. The appellant was charged with contravening Rule 25(5)(c) of the Constitution of the ANC by behaving in such a manner as to bring the organization into disrepute, in that he addressed a press conference on 31st July by making announcement, amongst others, that the Botswana leadership of government poses a serious threat to Africa. So we need a progressive government in Botswana. We are not going to sit with neighbors that conduct themselves like that. Botswana is in full cooperation with imperialists, and the government is undermining the African agenda. The appeal of Julius Malema, the appellant's appeal against his conviction for contravening Rule 25(5)(i) of the ANC Constitution is dismissed, and the guilty finding by the NDC is confirmed. In respect of Sindiso Makaka, Floyd Shibambu, and Julius Malema, as the appellants themselves prayed to the NDCA that the matter be referred back to the NDC to determine an appropriate sanction after hearing evidence in mitigation and aggravation of sanction that the parties may wish to present. This finding of the NDCA was adopted unanimously by all the members of the NDCA who are sitting right in front of me, who are namely Trevor Manuel, Bridget Mabandla, Jeff Hadebe, and Jesse Duarte. It was a unanimous finding, and this then concludes the work of the NDCA, or the announcement that the NDCA wanted to put forward. And we are therefore not inclined to be taking questions and answering anything, because as these matters evolve, they may finally come back to us.
Someone was asking me if I'm going to resign because we performed bad. I won't do that. It's not a penny. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. Yeah. I'm in charge. I'm in charge. That must be very clear. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere in terms of politics. I'm not going anywhere in terms of health. I'm not going anywhere in terms of age. Ours is a generational mission. It's not a popcorn that will just pop and disappear. It's going to stay. We have a staying power. And in Parliament, we're going to lose, if we lose seats, 2-3 seats. And we used to razzmatazz that Parliament. Before we were 44, we were how many? 25. We are razzmatazing it, 25 of us. So even if you take 3 seats, we're not going back to 25. We're still where we're not during that time of 25. So
the EFF does not win wards when it participates in local government elections. Why? Because the so-called ground forces, the leaders of the EFF, the councillors, are not trusted by communities. So communities don't vote for those characters. The EFF only performs well when it comes to proportional representation. Why? Because that's when it is possible to benefit from the image of the leader of the party. So Julius Malema, as the leader of the party, does have appeal. The entire party hangs on his charisma. He does have a following. And everybody who is in the leadership mix of the EFF is aware of that, which is why they all sing songs and choruses about Julius Malema, because they know that he is the magnet who pulls support towards the EFF. If you want, you can perform a mental exercise and say the EFF minus Julius Malema. What do you think it would look like? I can tell you, the EFF minus Julius Malema wouldn't be what it is. So this whole thing revolves around the personality cult of the man.
For the broadcasting team, they are Okay, that's more information. I'll come with them. Who's the message you're rapping? What was the word on the ringing of me?
Where are you?
You take one, just like
Where? Oh, okay.
Also, you're getting your phone because I need to give them
How many
the
are you?
Facebook pages.
Eight.
I need to give them the pages, so I'm going to go to them.
So give them 8, right?
Okay. Yeah, go put my name on my page.
Floyd Shibambu and Julius Malema are personal friends who have gone through a lot when they were expelled from the ANC. Without Floyd Shibambu and Julius Malema, there is no EFF. So there is absolutely no way they're going to let Floyd Shibambu go, because Floyd Shibambu is part of the heart of the EFF. Remember, it is not only Floyd who is alleged to have received money from VBS here. Even the EFF itself as a party is said to have received money from VBS. So if you want Floyd to go, even the EFF must go as a party because it is allegedly received money. That is not going to happen. What you are going to see, denials, denials, and denials.
Bam.
Floyd will be a minister of finance if they agree, these people, because he's the most qualified in all respect. None of the people they've put there have got the understanding of that institution better than Floyd. We're putting a best candidate forward.
So the attempt for unification is not just an opportunistic one because there were electoral declines of the EFF and all of those things. It's a genuine political discussion, which all South Africans must enter into, those who are in favor of the revolution. Because revolution is the content of what we're standing for. It's not just, no, if it's me, you are betraying me. You know, some people will say, you are betraying me. Where does that enter? And you don't even once suggest that I'm betraying the revolution. I will never betray the revolution. Because we're not in the business of trying to please each other's egos here. We're in the business of building a revolutionary movement that is going to emancipate the black majority and Africans in particular, and we're unapologetic about that. That is what we stand for. And President Zuma, when he was inducting all of us yesterday, he says that we might be friends, we might think we're friends, but friendship won't apply here. If you do not do these things right, you're going to be taken care of appropriately.
No. So I don't know, Shem. Hey, you'll have to slaughter cows for that fight to happen. It will never happen. That's what the enemy wishes for. He will speak for himself, but from where I'm sitting, I told my son, if I die, you must contact Uncle Floyd so that you guys work together in consultation with your mother on the program of the funeral. My son knows that. So I don't have anybody. Remember, I'm alone. When I was standing there on that thing that took me up there at the in the stadium there, I'm like that. I'm like, I was done. I was alone there. Like if you kill me, it's done. There's no any sibling, no parents, no nothing. So I'm like, for it not to be clumsy politically, you're going to have to consult Uncle Floyd. So you and Mom know that, okay, the EFF interests are well taken care of. Because we can't have a situation where there will be an infiltration And then Floyd, they are even told not to speak at my funeral. And then they are very good at hijacking funerals. So why would I entrust someone with such a responsibility? If
le Floyd le ena le morapedise a ke khone o re tla fetsa ngwaga kwa a ke tsebe o tla fetsa kwa ngwaga ke o batla le morapedise ka ba ke utlwa bua ampua mpe mo Floyd a re a nka se tle enseng balula ampatle a ke o batle jo amkhala ku tsekisa nka ba na ku tsibotsiwa ke bo Julius na ku tsibo zange ka zabalaza le wena o tlile ka bona ba re mothukiwo so na ku batle a ke tsebe
Clueless about what people must do. You are useless. You must be fired. You are useless. That's why these things are happening here. These things are happening. No. You are talking about. So what? So what? So what? So what? So what? So what? You can't say what you like here. We do. This is not your police station. This is not your police station. You don't own any police station. You can't get the gate. When you said they must unblock, we told you. Am I blocking the gate? Am I blocking the gate? Your people are blocking the gate. That's what you are talking to me. Am I blocking the gate? Your people are blocking the gate. They must leave. We are running to police station. No, they must leave the gate. You want to kill us like in Maricana? No, they must leave.
Bengapi moingwele bengapi awe babo
Amandla. That's my word.
So they can't say to us, Floyd can be a minister of finance when the current minister of finance was accused of stealing workers' money. The current one. And Ogari apologized also. He got removed from a position because of that accusation. A lesser position because he was accused of stealing money from the workers. He got removed and then he came back. Top position. Without any clarity, having accepted that he stole that money. So Floyd has not stolen any money. Only illiterates can reject the young intelligentsia. The man is gifted. He knows these things. By his head, he can tell you every little cent, where it is being spent by who, where, how. He leaves those things. He tells you about every single South African company, who's the CEO, how much does it make, how much money does it pay for taxes, without reading anything. You've got a man who understands the economy of South Africa and the continent and the world at large. A well-grounded Marxist-Leninist, highly qualified, is now going for his third master's. Next week, he's going to collect his third master's in London. Not in some Tibet college there in Seshiwo, in London. Then he must be compared with Arthur Trollip. We are not in a competition with each other. And I've made it very clear to Floyd, the day you get tired of me, don't go and organize against me. Just tell me, I think you have served your term. It is time to go. I will leave without putting up a fight because I will know it's a friendly fire and it comes from a good place. The problem starts when you start organizing against me, and I hear it in the corners. I'm very ruthless against people who do such things to me. So never try that with me. And he knows that, because I've never lost a conference in my entire life. And no one I supported has ever lost a conference in my entire life. I'm a tactician. I always plan my way. And I always plan to the extreme.
When I get married, I imagine the day of divorce. I don't stay on the day of happiness. I've already lived my day of divorce. Even when they visit me, they will never shake me because I've seen them before. I plan in advance. Even with politics, the day I get into a position, that is the day I prepare my exit. That's why I will never trouble you. When they expelled me, I never put up a fight. I went to farm cabbages, and they followed me. And once you follow me, I told you, do not conspire against me in the corners, because I will plan my comeback. And when I do so, I'm very ruthless. I don't play games. And I do so without hesitation. I tell you on your face, a war has been declared. Let's fight. Because I'm not a coward. I don't conspire around against those.
I can't not talk about KZN.
Yes.
It is one of the key battlegrounds. And you were initially deployed to that province.
Yes.
Before your subsequent move to the Eastern Cape. The introduction of the MK Party. Are you finding that it is making the EFF lose steam in KZN, or is the picture still the same according to the EFF? You're still finding enthusiasm around the EFF?
Look, do you know, I can tell you this without, do you know, by the time MK Party was announced publicly, the EFF had already put in place the voting district elections task forces in all the 4,971 VDs of KwaZulu-Natal, where you have got volunteers, 20 volunteers in each and every VD. And even after the formation of MK, even when we went to the rally on the 10th of February this year, there was never a shift of the constitution and the constituencies that we got to mobilize as volunteers of the EFF. So in terms of the ground forces of the EFF, there's never been a shift. We have never lost any member of the EFF to MK Party. On the contrary, the ruling party is the one which has had a lot of its regional and sub-regional leaders who flocked into the MK Party for one reason or another. But the EFF has never been affected by the formation of MK Party. And of course, it will get some support in KwaZulu-Natal and all of this. We cannot deny that fact. But it doesn't affect the consistent growth of the economic freedom fighters. Remember that in 2019, we got 350,000 votes in KwaZulu-Natal. And we are sure that if we have underachieved, it would have been when we have failed to increase that by at least a minimum of 100% as compared to 2019. So we're not affected at all by MK Party, and I don't think it will